Good evening, race fans. We are back at it here on a Tuesday night for the Tour Modified Series, sponsored by none other than Tripods in the Wild. Here tonight at a very tough, flat, short track here at Stafford, home of the SK Modifieds. We're running a Tour Modified tonight. A little bit more horsepower, but these cars are made for this track. And as always, joined by my good buddy, my best friend on here, I call him, Mr. Chris Carroll. Chris, how you doing tonight, brother?
Doing great, man. Stafford produces some great races, and this should be a good one.
So typically, Chris, we come in here and I ask you how we're doing, but peek behind the curtain, we've normally talked for about 30-45 minutes before we go live, right? Tonight, no sir, none of that, right? I got in here late. Carol got in here a little late. We are totally winging it right now. We're flying by the seat of our pants. Look at the young gun, currently sitting top of the board. It is qualifying right now. Jason Raymond went top of the board with an 18.67. I know the live scoring looks a little weird. Not sure why it's doing that, but so just bear with us for a moment here. As there we go. There we see their times now. Go ahead, Carol. Sorry.
It looks like all the veterans are up front here. If you notice, Tanner, it's a tough track to get around. It's very slick. It's very tough to hit your line. And if you look, the vets are up top right away here.
This is a driver's track. And I want to touch on something with Jason Raymond sitting top of the board. He don't even know I'm going to do this. I know he's going to smile when he watches this broadcast back. But the kid's been racing in real life. And where's he been racing at? He's been racing at Stafford. Jason Raymond is number 49. You see on your screen right there, the green and black machine, making a move on the blue number 7. So, been having some good finishes in real life, too. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually we are flying totally by the seat of our pants here. I'm pulling him up into the booth. I'm going to see if we can have a word with the young gun. Mr. Jason Ramon, you're in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
So, Jason, you didn't even know I was going to do it, but I just pulled up your picture from Stafford. It's the picture. Let me pull it up again so I don't butcher it. It's the picture Brian Zimmerman shared earlier with you passing the blue and white number 7. So, talk to us a little bit about the real life racing career and how Stafford translates from real life to the sim.
So, I mean, obviously it's my rookie year in real life. I'm currently top 10 in points out of, we have 20 cars weekly, so top 10 in points, sitting 8th right now in the rookie seasons. I mean, pretty good if you ask me. My goal was one top 5. I got a podium a couple weeks ago, so we're kind of picking away at it. Car's been pretty good so far, but as for how Stafford Speedway translates, it's pretty similar. There's a couple things that may have kind of evolved over time. There's actually a big bump down in turn 1 from all the modifieds and stuff getting into the grass. It's kind of like a little ditch. Dropping your left side tires in there isn't fun. I've done it a few times. I don't know if it's on our iRacing exactly how it is in real life, but going into turn 3, there's also a bump as well. Car just kind of settles right on the entry to 3. But other than that, it's pretty spot on down to every light pole, even the bumps down pit roads. It's exactly the same.
So riding here with Scotty around this track. This is a driver's track. This is one of my favorite tracks. Maybe that's why I call it a driver's track, right? Because it is one of my favorites. I compare it a lot to Martinsville, but man, oh man. Ooh, Scotty, first lap around, or second lap around, just wrecked it. What's the modified feeling around here? Because these modifieds, they're at home at a track like Stafford. What's it feeling like tonight?
Tonight, the car's super loose. I feel like that's going to be something to watch for. First couple laps for sure. It's definitely kind of a little weird. It just kind of snaps on you sometimes, and that's, you got to be easy getting on the gas. You're going to go around for sure. But definitely, yeah, this is the home of the modifieds. SK Modified is created here. So if you think of modifieds, you're going to think of Stafford Speedway in the Northeast.
Well, right on, brother. Zim has told us that the car's loose. He gave us a little bit of track facts for us before we go into the night, and you kind of hit on that too, saying the car's loose. Right rear is going to be key. Well, Raymond, you're hitting the grid. You put it on the pole for your return to the modified series. So good luck, brother, and keep that momentum going from practice and qualifying. Maybe we'll be talking at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely, boss. That was Mr. Big Ugly. He used to be my co-commentator, and then he kind of switched up on me. But he's actually on track. Well, Carol, you know what time it is, man. It's time to get that grid rocking and rolling. We're even going to fly by the seat of our pants here, and I'm going to let you take the honors of the first couple. Take it.
All right, returning back to the modified series, Jason Raymond on the pole. We got the vet Kyle O'Danick on the outside. I've been calling him the champ, Tanner, but he didn't win the championship. Brian Zimmerman did. Brad
I did not
Carpenter
know that.
starting
I would have
third.
corrected you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
got it mixed up. Yeah, I got it mixed
I
up.
didn't know that. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, Brad Carpenter starting third on the second row. We got Steven Rogers, a newcomer here. We don't know any. I don't know anything about him. We got the vet Brian Zimmerman starting fifth. Tim Trowbridge. I'm going to call him Trowbridge. Trowbridge. I'll have to ask him. But you know it's Trowbridge. Okay.
Yep.
We got Caleb Thompson starting seventh. Vet Zach Murphy starting eighth. We know Brandon Mettler starting ninth. Adam Thompson's another veteran in this whole sim racing thing. He's starting 10th. We got the Pit Lizard boy Troy Tarbuck starting 11th and Scotty Stevens starting 12th.
And as we keep going further down, 13th is none other than Scott Bryant, 14th Chris Sawyer, 15th Derek Stanley, 16th Ronnie Morrison, 17th it's the kid, Mr. Brody Mears, 18th Jason Bauer, 19th Mitchell Muma, starting 20th outside, I believe it's row 10, Kevin Prettyman, 21st Keith Mack, 22nd, Larry Bell, last week's winner, coming into tonight as a points leader. So he's going to be starting at the back. Carol, you faced that monkey a lot of times on your back. He's got to do it tonight. Tyler Clemens is in 23rd. And Chris Clark playing shotgun to the field. Before we get going, I want to touch on something you touched on a while ago. Holy hell, look at the talent in the front half of this field. There's talent everywhere in this field. But all the veterans are up at the front of this field. This is going to be a doozy. Kyle O'Danick firing off to the outside. The young gun Raymond leading them to the green. Brad Carpenter, Brian Zimmerman. Steven Rogers is a newcomer to the series, like you hit on. But he's been fast. And Tim Trowbridge, he works in real life on IndyCar teams. You should see some of the pictures that I've seen from him on Indy 500 weekend, Indy 500 month. Tim Trowbridge, 74, is going to be a guy to watch, as now they just got to wait for that green flag.
Good jump for the leader there out front, Tanner. Passing is going to be a premium here. We might, it's usually a few wrecks at the beginning of the race. Guys are on loose tires, it's real tight quarters, and then they settle down.
Whoa,
but there we go.
22 going around.
Into 3.
22, Trowbridge also around. The 22 of Steven Rogers. That's going to be a kind of a big stack of cars still piling in. As that's a tough break right there. Got to get turned around, though, before the field comes around. Do not want to go a lap down. Now, remember, at-fault caution rule in effect here tonight. We didn't do a driver's meeting, so I hope the admins are aware of the at-fault rule. And I hope Tim Trowbridge is aware, because it looked like it started there. I'm not 100% positive. Let's see if we can go back. If SDK is going to tell us something here. Get on Trowbridge, I believe it was. Went to 22 and the 74, I believe, Carol. Let's see what happens here. Just kind of nudges him in the back a little bit. Maybe 22 got on the brakes a little bit harder than the 74 was thinking there. Just a little misjudgment out of the 74 car.
Yeah, it looks like he's just in there too deep. It looks like he's a little loose in that corner. Now, if I was... Oh, he's lifting early there. Look at that. He's looking for somewhere to go early in that corner. Maybe the 22 had a problem.
I want to go back one more time.
Can we rewind that?
Yeah.
He looked like he had a problem off the previous corner.
22 hits the wall. Watch this. Let's get out of this car. 22's on the wall up there.
There's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that looked very different than what we saw it live.
Yeah,
it looked to me like the 74 was looking for somewhere to go there. Like the hole from the corner off. He was just trying to find somewhere to go, and that's a plausible wreck right there. If you're the 74, you're trying to survive that, because if you lift too much, you get run over. He's looking for a lane, and that's a tough one, man. That sucks for both of them.
So under caution this early, never a good sign, right? But now Brian Zimmerman told me fuel tonight, Carol, about 85 to 90 laps if you stretch it. So I'm thinking about lap 82, 83. This caution's going to throw a wrench into that, right? Going to make it a little bit further. But as it stands right now, they cannot make it. So with that, I got to ask, who's your pick for tonight?
Well, do we get to pick the same guys, or do we pick guys we haven't picked before? We're going to have to write it down if we pick guys we haven't picked before.
If you could start a notepad just on Microsoft of our picks every week and just keep adding to it, that would be awesome if you could do that for me. as we're
Yeah, we
getting
can
ready
do
to go
that.
green here. Let me know as we fire them off here. Single
Big
file
jump.
restart, big jump for Raymond. This is going to be a benefactor for a lot of people, except the people towards the middle portion of the field here, because they cannot really attack the restart. I want to give you my pick. My pick, since we're going to keep track of it, I'm going the 49 right here of Jason Raymond. I got to this time.
Taking the returning kid, huh?
Right, and that may be dangerous, right? Because he said this car's loose. He's not used to how iRacing feels. So I mean, it could be a problem over the course of a long run. So yeah, I'll take the 49 car of Jason Raymond. Showed the 44 car on ticker, but he is 49 car on track. Who do you got?
I'm gonna pick me a Brian Zimmerman. I think he has what it takes here: the attrition, the ability to manage his car, the ability to find the spots when he needs it at the end and be there at the end. I'm gonna pick Brian Zimmerman.
That's never a bad pick. You can pick Brian Zimmerman on any track, hell, even a go-kart track, and he's going to be fast, right? So that's a good pick. So we both got really good picks. So now that we start keeping track of it, going to keep score. That's going to be interesting right there. Going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top. For the ones that tune in on Sundays, Track Talk, we do that same thing. We have Track Talk pick 'em. Right now I'm currently behind. Mark jumped out to a big lead early in the season. And it's kind of crazy because I used a bunch of the heavy hitters early in the season, right? I want to just kind of maybe try to extend a lead early, and it backfired on me, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a strategy all on its own. But the strategy we see here is they're spreading out.
They are.
These guys they saw that wreck early. They're taking it nice and easy. They're single file, and we're going to see their strategy as opposed to their speed, I think, with that type of race. One guy I'm looking at here, Troy Tarbuck's up a few spots from where he started. I'm not sure. He started further back than he is right now. So, I mean, Tarbuck's moving. Adam Thompson's moving. And we haven't talked anything about Adam Thompson, man. Adam Thompson's another guy that knows how to get his car to the end of the race. We've raced with him a lot in different series, and he always seems to be there at the end if he doesn't get caught up in someone else's stuff.
Something I'm noticing here, Carol, it's kind of different than what we're accustomed to seeing here at Stafford. Well, Raymond's doing it, but a lot of them are not really wrapping that. Well, they're wrapping the apron, but they're not really using the apron. Is that a testament just because the car's loose? They don't want to go down there and upset the handling of the car.
Yeah, they might be feeling loose. I mean, when we raced the Supers here a few weeks ago, I was using that to help for rotation.
Right.
I'd get down there, and it's free rotation when you get across that curb. Oh, there we go, 22
I just
around.
went back to Steven Rogers.
Points leader into the fence.
Larry Bell gets a piece of it. Let's go back and see what happened. I literally just clicked on Steven Rogers because I wanted to update everybody because we saw him involved in the earlier wreck. See what happens here. Got the 51. I believe that's Chris Sawyer out front.
Oh, I think Sawyer got loose and came down into his lane.
I think Steven
Looked to
Rogers
me
is,
like he got free.
this is twice right here. He's in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Yeah, look at that. Watch the real estate cleared right here. Look,
Oh, look at that closing right.
Yep, 51 still loose.
69, nowhere to go.
Innocent bystander. And then look, right
Larry
here, points leader.
Bell. Larry Bell.
Points leader coming through.
Oh, I think he got away with it.
I think he's going to be okay with that, Carol. I don't think. Now, we've seen week in and week out these modifieds, they do not like taking hits to the tires, but I think he hit it just flush enough. We saw his car kind of right up on the wall, right? I think that mitigated a lot of the brunt force damage, kind of.
Yeah, it didn't look like he hit it too hard. It looked like it just climbed a little bit. But who knows? That could be a broken car. These cars are funny. You hit them in the right front, they decide to die real quick. So.
And they're not like the stock cars we run that have fenders, right? We can usually tell on a stock car if the fender's ripped off of it. You can tell, okay, probably 9 times out of 10 you have some suspension damage, right? Well, on these you don't have fenders. What are we looking at here? We're looking at Nerf bars, and they don't really bend a whole lot.
Wide open suspension, wide open tires, all kinds of stuff can happen to
and that's
them,
why Larry Bill climbed the wall too, right? Because it is open.
Right.
That wheel is just able to grab and climb, basically.
Yeah, that could be a good thing or it could be a real bad thing. I'm hoping for him that that's not. But here, check this out, Tanner. Now we are roughly 20 laps into this race. You said they could probably stretch it to 90. That leaves them, a chance to get some fuel here, maybe make it right to the end.
Right. So the 90, when Zim tells me 90, that's me. I think that's him telling me you better save hard to get there, right? I'm thinking comfortable 85, Carol. But hell, if you're 10th on back, I think you got to pit here. You got to fill her up and just kind of hope, right? Because you're
Well, we got
almost
107 left,
Right.
right? And if there's a bunch of yellows, I mean, there's
Right.
2 yellows in 18 laps already.
exactly.
There's a bunch of yellows. Maybe these guys can stretch it from here.
I mean, that's true too. Do you want to forego that track position early and hope you can get it back later, or do you want to stay out on track and hope you can stretch it? That's the $1 million question every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. As look at the jump the young gun gets, left them all in the dust, but that's actually a big benefactor to the 21 of O'Danick. He didn't have to battle anybody right then. He was able to get down from the high side.
Yeah, O'Danick got a really good start on the top, and there's my pick sliding up into 3rd place here, doing his thing, and we got a few guys battling back here. Oh, hang on, boys.
Caleb E. Thompson, 04, and the 15 of Mettler making some contact. They actually didn't make contact twice. That's why I switched back to him. As Yellow's back out on the speedway, and it's not even telling me who's involved in this one. Oh, Lucky Dog flipped back over on the lid. Ronnie Morrison
got
turned
guys
around.
doing donuts. We got guys on their lid. This is Stafford at its finest right
This
here.
is looking now. This is beginning to look like a poop show. I can't say what I want to say.
That's what I mean, though. This
Yeah.
track can do it in a hurry. This is a dirty, greasy track. It looks like Lucky Dog got the fence. No, he got. Oh boy,
Ooh, whoa,
there was some contact before the fence.
that was like a catastrophic wreck right there too. Look at this.
Oh, that's. Oof.
Did Lucky Dog get loose? What happened here, Carol?
I think he got loose on the top.
This
I
is-
think he got loose on the top, and the other guy, he pinched him a little, but I think he got loose right here. His car's headed down. He's coming. They're both going to the same place. I
They
mean, let's
kind
be
of are.
honest.
It almost looks like Jeffrey thought he was a little bit closer to the wall and he wanted to come down a little bit, Carol.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
Like he's
Either that or he got a little bit behind on his steering. Yeah,
Maybe.
he got close to the wall and reacted a little bit. That's what it is.
That's what I
That's the
think.
second time.
I think he was just kind of reacting based off that white wall. And I'll tell you,
saw it
we all
coming
do that. Everybody can do that. Nobody wants to hit that wall. We just seen what happened with Larry Bell when he hits it, right? Nobody wants to hit that wall.
Especially in these cars. We just saw them climb. We just saw Larry climb the wall, missing a wreck. And if that's a super late model or a late model, you hear a little click and you bounce off the wall and
Right.
you might have a scratch down the side and you're okay. These cars have sprint car tires on all 4 corners and they grip and grab and they'll I've seen them turn upside down climbing the wall.
Right.
I mean, it's all over.
Well, we just saw it, right? We just saw Jeffrey Miller turn into a turtle right then. So with the super late models, I worry about the front end, right? The radiator, the engine. That's mainly what I worry about with super late models. With these, I don't worry as much with the front end. Look at that big Nerf bar they have out the front of this car, right? I mean, that's pretty strong. It's hard to damage that. You got to break that before you start breaking anything inside of it, right? So the main thing you have to worry about is the tires on this car, like we said earlier. Got to be careful here. Now, another caution early. I'm wondering, when's it going to be time for these boys to settle it down, right, to start clicking off laps? You know it's going to come. This happens every short track race when we start 20-plus people. Now, I mean, we've had races, though, where it's caution after caution. I'm hopeful, knocking on wood, that ain't tonight.
Well, I think after a few wrecks early, this is typical for a big field, right? On a short track, guys realize, hey, we got to settle this down and get to the end, because if we don't, we're not going to get there. And sometimes it takes a few wrecks. And big jump again for Raymond, but a really good restart for O'Danick. I'll say, every series I see O'Danick in, he's really good on restarts. He's really good at anticipating where we're going. And I'm wondering if
another big wreck in the back.
Oh, we're
There.
flipping again. Brody Mears, I see upside down.
Jeez, boys.
This is a big one. This is going to take out a lot of cars. And I believe the points leader, no points implications. I think he got through there, Tanner Mark.
He may have took a few little bumps and scrapes. He does take a few little bumps, but nothing major. Nothing major here. Let's ride right behind the 72. This is the young gun, Brody Mears.
He took
here.
a ride. He took a, oh boy.
Oh, Troy
Looks like-
Tarbuck right there.
I think Troy got loose, slid up a little.
Did Troy get loose or did Brody chase him down the track here?
It looked like Troy got loose right on exit, right there.
Oh, no. Look, Netco does them no favor. They hit.
So netcode, I was looking at the wheels there.
Watch this. Watch this.
Troy spins the tires right there. You can see him. Well, he's trying to stay off of Brody. I think he realized he was there.
I think that's Netco, bro. And I hate to say
Yeah,
that.
it was netcode as well. Yeah.
I don't know if they were actually going to hit or not there. Honest to God. I know
In any case, Mears
Holy
is
cow.
pulling a Petty down the backstretch here. He looks like Richard Petty at Daytona.
Lands it, though. Does land it. Holy hell.
Wow.
Folks, let's throw it over to a commercial real quick. We'll be back momentarily.
Shut up and sit down.
Alrighty, folks,
like
we are back. Sorry, Carol, go ahead. Got it?
I was saying it looks like a single file restart. Big advantage for the leader here. And O'Danick gets another good restart, man. On single file restarts, you usually see the leader get a bigger lead than that. He's on that loud pedal early.
You know what I'm thinking about with these double file restarts? Zimmy's smart. Zimmy's playing chess out here. When they are double file and he's third, I don't think he wants to pass O'Danick right now. I think he likes holding that inside lane. Don't have to fight nobody on a restart when they are double file. I would not be surprised if Zimmy has let O'Danick in the last few restarts when they have been double file.
Well, that's
I
a
just thought
veteran
about
move,
that.
right?
I just thought
And
about
the
that.
veterans are going to find a way to stay
Right.
up front. That's how it works. These guys know what they're doing. They've done this a million times. And, I mean, if you look, you don't see Adam trying to pass anybody. He's got his own space. He's running his own race. And the vets go racing, Tanner, when it's time to go racing. You don't see them pulling crazy moves and dive bombing guys. They're conserving their equipment till they need it, you know. And Zimmerman falls in that category.
Riding on board with Adam Thompson here in the number 71 machine. Having to use a lot of wheel right there. Watch it just in the corner here. Can't really get the car to ever bite, and that's what you're seeing there. That's why he's having so much wheel in it. He's trying to initially put the wheel in to get the car turned, but then he wants to start coming out of the wheel, but he's not able to. You hear him really working that throttle too, Carol. I know you can't hear it actually, but they can hear it. He's really having to work that throttle. He's basically doing almost like a light switch. He's dumping it and then getting off of it, dumping it, getting off of it, because he's just trying to force that car to rotate.
If you look, when he gets into the corner, he's running a bit of a diamond late apex here, right? So when we go down into one, watch the center of the corner. You'll see that car grip, and it'll shift right about here. You'll see his wheel go to the right. See that little twitch right there? That's when the weight is transferring onto the back tires there, and it looks to me like it's tight in the center, and it transfers really hard on the right rear once you get on the throttle.
Abrupt. Very, very abrupt when it does transfer over. And listening to Adam there, that tells that story, right? We're racers. We can hear his throttle right there. That tells the story exactly what you're saying. He's trying to get that car to bite, but it's not actually. Once it bites for him, it's biting almost too hard, right? Because he has so much wheel in it, and it's actually making him counter steer trying to save that car. But I mean, still doing a hell of a job. And
he's loose getting in there. Good save. He was really loose. He just about ran over the guy in front of him, and that was a really good save there. That was a scary moment. I guarantee he's all over that wheel, and his heart rate's about 30 beats higher right now.
Also want to touch on old Belsky, the points leader coming into the night. Got his first Crooked Line Racing win last week at North Wilkesboro in these cars. He's up 13 spots since he hit the grid. Currently running P9. He's actually, he is up 16 spots. Because remember, he had to take the EOL at the start. He's up 16 spots since he hit the grid. He's had to manage some damage, right? Got some damage earlier. Had to avoid a wreck or two. But he's persevered, and he's got it through there. One thing I want to touch on here, Carol, we haven't looked at it yet. What's this track temp? Track is 116 degrees, so that track is baking right now. You could throw eggs down that surface to cook eggs right now. That's why these guys are struggling right here. They're slipping and sliding all around the track.
Well, when the track's that hot, it wears all 4 tires out, and whichever one you wear out the most, you're going to suffer later. I mean, you have to wear something out. You have to choose to, wear the right front or the right rear out. They're the 2 most important, and I think keeping the car neutral at this point is a big deal. I think O'Danik's very good at that. I think Zimmerman's very good at that, and Carpenter the last few weeks has been running good. He doesn't have the finishes, but all the guys that are up front seem to be the guys that know how to keep that car underneath them. And you can see the tire wear at this point. They're starting to spread out. We're starting to see who's who here, and we are, what are we, 45 laps in, 43 laps in? We're seeing who's who at this point. Zimmerman looks like he's struggling a little bit on that right rear, and Carpenter's looking for a spot here.
I think we're seeing the makings of what we see Zimmy do a lot. I think this man's saving. He's lifting out really early.
Well, we went green with 102 to go, I think. Someone's going to try and make it.
Yeah, you know who that someone is, right? Zimmy's saving. He ain't clutching it yet. He's not saving that hard, Carol. I know you can't hear. I wish you could hear it, what I'm hearing. Because you're way smarter at it than I am even. But he is definitely, he's not, we'll jump from him, folks, all the way out right here as he goes in turn 1. And just listen. So we see where he lifted right there going in turn 1. Let's jump with our race leader. We'll use turn 3.
You can see him much harder on the gas up off the corner.
Raymond's almost 2 car lengths deeper on the throttle. Now let's listen to turn 1. I'll lay out once again and see.
Yeah, he's running that car a lot harder. It looks to me like he's using up more right rear too. His car is rotating. You look at that twitch up off the corner. He's using
traffic now. This is something we see week in and week out here. Gotta manage and battle through the lap traffic. Already got by some of them, but that ain't all of them. You're just getting to the mix of them now. It's Clements going up high, letting him by, I believe. Yep, that was Tyler Clements in the number 17 car.
Where is Tyler Clements?
I don't know.
It was either him or Scotty that disappeared.
That was Clements right then. That was a little scary. That was indeed a little scary.
Looked to me like that traffic benefited O'Danik. O'Danik is closer to Raymond before they got to that traffic. I think that's going to play a factor in the long run. If we run a long run here, I think the traffic is really, really going to play a factor in the speed. And when you're up front, you're trying to keep pace. It's not speed so much. You don't want to run the best lap right now. You're trying to
maintain pace.
Yeah, you want to try and run as many laps, the same lap time as you can. And the traffic dictates that, where you catch them and how you work them, and where you get on the throttle, where you brake, all determines that.
So what Carol's saying there, you go out and you want to qualify, say pole position to 19.3. Well, in race pace, you can't do that lap after lap. If you can shoot for a 19.6 and do that for 100 laps, you're going to be out front, right? And that's what these guys are having to try to do. Lap traffic plays a huge factor in that, because that 19.6, well, hell, that can turn into a
20.2.
Right, in the blink of an eye.
O'Danik is closed in traffic.
He has.
I'm not sure what their pace looks like when they're out in open track like this, but O'Danik is closing that gap slowly but surely.
O'Danik looks like he's getting into the corner and through the center of the corner better than Raymond right now. Now, typically, when we say that means the guy who's getting in better is usually not getting off the corner as good, but it doesn't look like O'Danik loses a lot on the exit, as now he's actually out of picture. But, and also, remember, we got a taker down pit road there. I'm not even sure who that was, if I'm being honest. Kevin Prettyman, 88 car going down pit road for service. But Jason Raymond being a leader, he's got the toughest task of trying to pass lap traffic right. He is the guy putting them a lap down, so they don't want to go a lap down. Now, some guys will let him have it, right? But a lot of people, they don't want to go a lap down. O'Danik, on the other hand, once they already get passed by the leader, well, they ain't going. What's the reason to even fight second place, right?
Well, there's a lot of factors. I mean, it's when and where you catch traffic. It's how much pace can you keep while you're passing them and where. And not only that, the leaders are broken away here. I mean, the two guys out front, it's a two-car race at this point with Zimmerman kind of now starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Whether he's catching them or not, we don't know at this point. But the other thing is Zimmerman running third. Can he make it? I mean,
don't
you
think they
always
can.
have to ask yourself that question.
I'm sitting here. That's funny you even say that. That's what I was sitting there thinking. Can Zimmy make it? Because I don't think the front two can. It does not sound like Zimmy was saving right there. Let me listen here in 3 and 4. See if he's lifting at the red Dodge sign.
He's looking pretty smooth.
He's in pretty deep. As I believe Clemens may be off track here.
We got a nice green flag run here. I mean, these guys are starting to understand what they have to do here, and
look at the
not only
look at this, Carol. Look what he
had
in front of him.
Oh, and they are not moving. They're racing.
They're racing for position too. Yep, they're racing for position.
Danik is on his bumper now, Tanner. Now, if Raymond was relaxed out front, he's no longer relaxed. He's got to try and find a way by here without making a mistake.
He's getting aggravated.
Pick the right line.
He's getting aggravated. You can tell he's aggravated. He used the full apron right then. He's getting aggravated, getting flustered behind lap traffic right here. And I'm not knocking the kid because it's very easy to do, but this is where racecraft has to take over, right? Racecraft has to be bigger than the racehorse mentality. Racehorse mentality is going to be out front.
Experience-wise, you have to just take what's there.
Right.
It's out of your control. Oh, look out. 69 gets in the leader. Wow. Danik's going to take advantage of that. He just gained 2 car lengths on the exit.
Price is averted right then. Holy hell. That was close.
Raymond's looking a little free right now, too. He's looking like that right rear is screaming at him.
He don't look comfortable anymore.
Through the traffic.
He does not look comfortable anymore at all, the 49 car.
Well, whether he looks comfortable or not, I'm looking at the handling of his car.
Right.
He is running that car for all it's worth right now. There's no doubt. You can see it stepping out. You can see him getting in. And he's got to just pick the holes that are there. I mean, sometimes they're not there, and the guy behind you is right on your bumper. But you can't make a mistake on the throttle. You can't make a mistake on your marks, and you have to find the hole that's there, because if you do make that mistake, the other guys won't pick it. And he doesn't get to choose that. It just opens up for him. So there's an advantage to Danik here, right on his bumper. He's not feeling flustered. He's feeling good.
Oh, Danik's loving this right now. Now, yes, he would love to be out in front of Raymond, but I think Danik's quicker than Raymond is right now. I truly do. As I say that, Raymond pulls out a little bit as, lucky dog had an issue. Look at both of them guys. They're both yawing it out. Raymond right to the tail end of lap traffic once again. That is the 83 car of Scott Bryant giving way to the leader there. That's going to hurt Danik. Describe how he caught him right there, right? Caught him on the exit. Was not able to use the entire track. I thought Zimmerman was driving these dudes down, but he is not now. But it's hard to ever get a read on Brian Zimmerman. Is he pushing? Is he saving? It's really hard to tell. As Brad Carpenter and Brandon Mettler get around Ronnie Morrison as well. Ronnie, he probably has some gold nuggets in the panties right there. Almost took the leader and second place out with him. But hell of a job by all three. Crisis was averted there.
I think one of the fastest cars on the track right now is Brandon Mettler. I think he's moved up a lot of spots. I know he didn't start 5th, and he's on Carpenter for 4th here, and I didn't see him near the leaders until now. So I think he's making up some ground, and I think that Mettler's looking smooth. Look at that up off the corner. You can see Brad in front of him. He is digging. We got a yellow flag. Another guy down the back stretch on his lid.
That's going to really change. Oh no, it was Ronnie.
Well, Ronnie was struggling in front of the leaders there. There's no doubt.
Was this on Ronnie, though? It's him and Caleb. So Caleb's on the lead lap trying to get by. Oh, netcode
same incident we saw earlier.
But look at the daylight between them. iRacing, please. We do money races, man. We're losing integrity at this point. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
iRacing. Goodness gracious. I love the sim. I love it. I love it. It's the closest thing we got to real life racing, so it's hard to knock it a lot. And maybe they were going to hit if netcode wasn't a factor there. Maybe they still were going to hit, right? But damn it, it didn't look like it. And I try not to cuss on here.
You guys would have stayed off each other.
I try not to cuss. Oh, the race on pit road. Look at them two. Both of them in the grass. But notice who did not come out the race leader. Jason Raymond, 17-second stop versus a 12-second stop for Brian Zimmerman and a 14-second stop for Kyle O'Danick. But now O'Danick possibly could have a exit pit road violation, and I want to show you why. I think he clipped the cone. Did he clip that inside cone?
Look at that race off of pit road. Good.
He did not clip.
Lord.
He's good. I think he's going to be clean. You notice right here, Carol, look, he don't hit that inside cone. He almost did.
It was close.
Holy hell, it was close, but he should be good. 21 cars should not have a black flag, but now he may. I mean, I don't know. He could have sped or something. But as it stands right now, I believe everybody in front of the 21 car is a wave around car as it stands right now. Let's do something really quick. Let's do the Coleman Designs Paint Scheme of the Night Award, Carol. Just kind of throwing it on you, right? I don't even have a pick yet, but I am going to have a pick because I saw it earlier. I am going with, where'd it go? I can't remember who it was now. Do you have a pick off the top of your head?
I do. I like Brandon Mettler's car.
Okay, I can dig that. I like Brandon Mettler's car. I can agree with that. It's between Brandon Mettler and the points leader, Larry Bell. I love the lightning effect on this car. He has this on a couple of his cars, and I've tried to replicate it. I can't lie. Tried to make him a car, tried to replicate it, and failed miserably. So that's tough job to pull off right there, the lightning effect. So Brandon Mettler, Larry Bell, the Coleman Designs Paint Scheme of the Night Award. As they re-rack, restack, got a new face out leading the pack. Brian Zimmerman to the outside. Now the kid, the young gun, Jason Raymond, starting off P3. He has not been in this position yet. He's behind the 8-ball as he gets a great launch over Brian Zimmerman. Zimmy on that high side here. He looks like he's going to have to basically just accept his losses and fall back to P3. He gets down in front of Mettler. So that's exactly what Zimmy needed to do. Hold the podium position here. But now Mettler,
there, making sure he holds on to third.
A little defensive there out of Zimmy. No harm, no foul, no damage done. But you could tell he was defending that spot. All right, folks, we talked about gas. Throw it out the window. They can make it now. If they're smart, holy hell, they should be able to make it now, right? They pit. Battle for the race lead. Raymond O'Danick makes slight contact. And Mettler is bad fast right now on the back of the 28 machine of Brian Zimmerman. Mettler also had what looks to be a 2-tire stop.
I think at this point we have the fastest 5 cars up front. I think these guys have been up all front all race long. It's a matter of who. Raymond's pushing really hard for that lead. He wants it bad from O'Danick, and O'Danick races in real life. We know he knows how to pick a line, and if Raymond wants it too much here, it can hurt him. And we know the vet Zim's hanging out there looking for a free spot. So we got Mettler with a lot of speed. I'm interested to see what Mettler can do with these top 3 now that he's up there. He's driven his way up there, and he's on the right strategy. Raymond. And there's Raymond making a big mistake off the corner.
This is where the race horse mentality's come through, right? He led the first 70-something laps. He's behind the 8-ball now. If I'm Brian Zimmerman or I'm Kyle O'Danick, I'm a little nervous. Now, Kyle has opened it up a little bit, but Raymond had a longer stop. He may have 4 tires on that car. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I mean, he's pushing nonetheless. He's pushing as if he has 4 tires. For sure, top 5 have 2 tires.
Well, he for sure is pushing those 4 tires too far up off that corner. He's got to calm it down and let those tires cool down. And we know Raymond wants this bad. This is his home track. He wants some bragging rights here. He wants to say that he's won in both the real thing and on iRacing. So it seems to me, Tanner, when the leader's out front, he might have an advantage. I don't know these cars well enough, but I know a lot of different cars on iRacing. There's a push, with the arrow push, and it seems like the guy out front has a bit of an advantage here.
It absolutely looks that way, and I know being second in line in the tour mods, the leader dictates everything. It's yellows out here, and that's a lot of it as well, Carol, right? Raymond cannot hit his marks basically the same anymore because his marks may be different than O'Danick's marks, right? And I'm not even sure where this caution was. It told me Mitchell Mooma went off track, but that was way before the caution, I believe.
It's off track there. I
Ooh.
think it looks like he looped it by
Whoa.
himself. Oh, he got a shot in the corner after the board.
So the corner before, he saves it.
Oh,
So
he's
look at the tires, man. He's got the tires overcooked. He didn't get a shot either. Thompson never touched him till right then.
Nope. That was a big,
Yeah, so
big moment right there.
Moomer's just sliding through the whole corner. We thought Adam Thompson hit him. Hell, I thought so too, right? Adam Thompson actually hit him there, but he couldn't help it.
That was nerf bar to nerf bar damage there. Those guys are okay. Yeah, Mumai is bad loose for 2 laps there.
Just
Finally couldn't hang on to it anymore. We've all been there.
just a product of getting them tires, especially the rear tires, just get them too hot. She steps out one too many times, and it just goes past the line of coming back.
Well, when you're as loose as Muma was on the lap previous, those tires are angry. You go down into there like you had before, and there's no grip. The front end turns, but the rear end doesn't follow, and you got problems.
And one thing about these cars, they are scary when they get loose, because these cars, they kind of react the way like an Indy car would react. They don't just, in super late models, if you slide, you use the wheel, kind of correct it, right? And you can almost drive out of it by simply playing with the throttle and the wheel. These cars, you slide the rears, but you're also kind of sliding the front end too. It's like a 4-wheel drift almost, and we saw that right then, right? I mean, he wrecked going in turn 1, but didn't finally finish it off till the exit of turn 4 because the tires were just that mad at him.
Well, imagine going down into the corner on pavement in a sprint car. The amount of grip those massive tires have, right? So you go down there sliding it.
Right.
Now, when those tires stop sliding, there is such a huge grip patch there. Imagine when that hooks up. You have to have that wheel pointed correctly. If it's not pointed correctly, that thing is haywire. On these cars, you got 4 tires like that. So when that grip level comes back, when that tire stops spinning, man, you better be on that wheel, have it pointed correctly, and have your foot on the right spot in the throttle, or that thing's going around.
I agree. So checking out the chat here, my girl, it's actually Jason Raymond's girl, but I gave him a hard time. Claire, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name. I'm a redneck from Kentucky, Claire. I apologize. Dochik. Anyways, she said, go Jason Raymond. John Markern said 22 hit the wall. I agree. That was from earlier. And the governor out in chat said himself, Sam Lawson, and Sam Baumgartner put TSP on the podium, 2nd and 3rd in their dirt race tonight. So TSP running strong on the dirt side. As we'll see what's going to happen here on the asphalt side as they're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
I'm interested to see if Jason Raymond can get the same kind of restart that O'Danick did up there and hold his position, or whether Zimmerman gets after the lead right here.
I think Zimmy's going to let him down. I believe Zimmy just wants to hold down that 3rd place right now. I don't think Zimmy's fighting really that hard to get out of 3rd place. I think he's in the catbird seat right there. These
Zimmy
two,
better be careful.
he has Mettler right there behind him, right?
Mettler is showing some speed tonight.
I'm worried about O'Danick out front. Raymond,
Big wreck, points leader involved.
Oh no. Did Adam Thompson get a piece of that? Watching the 43 car Larry Bell here.
Oh, looks like he just got run over.
That shows right there how much on edge these cars are. I mean,
Didn't take much.
Did not take much at all from Adam. Just to transfer.
You know
all
Adam
the way.
hard on the brakes.
Oh,
there,
absolutely, absolutely. Adam's trying to stay off of him. Let's do this. Adam's trying to stay off of him, right?
We got to remember, Adam's not used to these cars.
Absolutely
he doesn't
not.
know how wide they are, right? So he goes down in there thinking he's got a little room. He'll slide underneath, and bap, he's got him in the right, his right front to the left rear. I have trouble in these cars how wide they are, and when you're used to driving other stuff, you think you got another foot, and you don't. That guy's right there.
So Bell went down pit road but didn't stop. Not sure. Maybe he stopped really fast for a fast spare and we missed it, but I never saw him pull in his box. Well, his box would have been at the very, very end, so he probably did stop for a fast spare. So now, are these cautions, are they benefiting our race leader, O'Danick, or are they hurting him? And now I got to ask also, 35 laps to go here. I don't think Zimmy's going to keep on wanting to be 3rd place here now. I think that's getting close to being thrown out the window. He's ready to race now, I do believe.
35 to go is go time on a restart. You got to get everything you can at this point, and if you're going to go after the win, you got to first get second place. Second
Right.
place have to hold off third place, and Mettler's just looking for the mistake. He wants to slide up into the top 3 with a shot to win. And yeah, we haven't said anything about Zach Murphy, but he's up there in the top 5 too. And we know he didn't start there, so he's driven his way up there too. He might be a sleeper here, the dark horse in the dark car.
The 29 of Zach Murphy up 3 spots. I thought he gained more spots than that. So far right now, our biggest mover of the race is none other than Mr. Keith Mack, up 9 spots. So he started 21st. Our biggest, I'm going to call you a loser of the race. I don't really like that terminology, but the most positions lost. Hard luck is Tim Trowbridge, who actually parked his car on the hauler, currently scored 17 spots down from where he hit the grid.
Yeah, he was involved early in that wreck.
And a few of them, I think the first 2, if I'm correct, Carol, I believe something like that.
That's a tough night, man. That's a tough night.
Another single file restart here, so that's going to be a benefit to the 21, but also going to be a benefit to the 44. Now, Jason Raymond don't have to start on the outside lane, but he has to get going here because I truly feel like Brian Zimmerman, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. I think he realized after the last restart, okay, Mettler's hungry, he's ready to go. Zach Murphy's ready to go. So in turn, I'm ready to go. As O'Danick fires him off, gets a great launch. Raymond did not get that great of a launch right there. Got Zimmy right there to the back bumper, almost shoved him to the corner with the Nerf bars. Mettler didn't get a great launch either. Top 3, throw a blanket over him. But look at that. Everybody's a single file. The train going around. Got the 21.
Raymond is pushing. Raymond is pushing hard here for that lead. O'Danick better be aware that chrome bumper's coming.
He's got his lady watching, so Raymond is definitely pushing. And folks, that reminds me, if you are watching at home, do us a favor. Can you hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button? Helps a ton. And also, while you're at it, never miss a single lap of the action. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. It may mean nothing to you, but it means the world to me. So if you could do that, help us out a ton. We're on the road to 500, trying to become a YouTube partner affiliate.
Jason Raymond's right rear is screaming, "Jason Raymond, please stop." That man is sideways up off the corner. He is hard on the gas. He is looking for that lead. He wants control of this race late. And O'Danick is just running the same line he's run all night long. And there's Raymond up under him sideways. Man, that tire's going to be angry in 10 laps, Raymond.
It looks like Raymond, he's trying to force a mistake out of 21, but what he's doing right here, he's playing right into the 21's hand. This is what he wants. 21, look at him.
Big mistake.
Oh, yeah, he blew the corner right there, really bad, huh? Now, lap traffic out the front windshield of our race leader, Kyle O'Danick. That's going to play a factor. O'Danick running kind of a Martinsville line here, Carol. Arching it in, kind of running that diamond line like you said a while ago, late apex. Whereas Raymond, he is painting that apron lap after lap after lap to the inside of 21 here. They won't last like this very many more laps. You're going to have a wreck out of these top 2 pretty quick. It won't continue like that.
Raymond's right rear is starting to suffer now, whether he can hold the speed or not. I don't know if you noticed, but the 2 behind them are starting to close now.
Right there on them. Right there on them.
Racing. Every lap that goes by here where they're racing, Zimmerman's catching them, and Mettler is too. Mettler's fighting off Zach right now for 4th, and Zimmerman's a beneficiary of these guys racing, and this could get interesting here. Raymond is really sending it through the center, using up that right rear. That right rear is screaming.
Whoa, Mettler, close call right there with lap traffic. Mettler had to make an evasive maneuver to stay off of lap traffic. I think there was a little bit of contact there. Something to notice with Raymond, he is loose from corner entry off. So that tells us, just from the eye test, he is sending that thing. And I just don't think the car can hang on for 25 more laps. And maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe that's why I'm in the broadcast booth. He's on the track. He wants that lead because the leader dictates everything here.
And if you're O'Danick, you got to expect the bumper at a certain point. Because if Raymond feels like he's being held up, he's going to move you, right?
Well, I think it's safe to say Raymond's quicker.
He's there.
Right Raymond's quicker now. He keeps getting there, right? Raymond's quicker. My problem with this is, will Raymond eventually get fed up, right? And we've all been there, right? We've all been fed up out here on the racetrack. If we feel we're passing somebody, that don't make it right what's about to happen. I truly think Brian Zimmerman's going to win this race, and my pick, Jason Raymond's going to get shoved to the back here. Is what I think's about to happen. I hope it don't happen.
One of 3 things is going to happen. The right rear of the 49 is going to give up at some point. We don't know what lap that is, but that right rear is angry. Zimmerman is going to close in the more they race, and Zimmerman doesn't look like he's pushing it. Or there's an accident between the front
Whoa,
two, and
contact
they don't
right there.
make it.
A little bit of contact between the 49 and 21. Sorry to interrupt.
Two of those three scenarios benefit the third place car, right? And one of those benefits Raymond if he can move them. So this is
But with the
this is
asphalt
fun to
rule,
watch.
gotta move him, but you gotta do it cleanly. Cannot be a caution, right? So you gotta be careful with that. Raymond can do it. He's good enough. He can do it. I know he can do it. I'm not going out on a big limb here when I say I think the 49's faster. I believe he's faster, right? We saw him get off the back bumper and drop right back to Kyle O'Danick lap after lap. But we preach it every freaking week here. These short tracks, getting to that guy in front of you, that's only a fourth of the battle. The other 3/4 is making that pass.
The other thing is he faster? Is O'Danick saving his equipment, letting him burn it up? We don't know. We're not in the cars.
Right.
I mean, is it raw speed? Is it?
Oh, yellow out.
Oh boy. Well, this is going to let Raymond cool his tires down. Wow, that looks like a crazy wreck.
Keith Mack trying to get the car turned around right here.
Oh, looks like he looped it by himself here. Watch this thing hook up once it comes from the grass to the pavement. Watch this. Watch this. The change in the handling of this car. Watch this. Here he goes down. Watch when he comes across the grass and gooses it here. Watch. No grip, tons of grip. You can just see it lay right over and bite. And that's what happens when you get sideways the other way on the pavement. The second those tires hook up, there's a massive transfer of weight. It's violent in these cars. He's got no grip, no grip, no grip. Watch him come across this grass here, and you almost feel it in this car, right? There, look at it stick. It's like, if you don't have the wheel pointed right, and that happens when you get sideways on the track, it'll send you into that wall so fast.
So, I don't know if y'all heard my phone ding right there. And that was a text message. And it was a text message from our second place driver. And I can tell you, I'm not going to read what it says because I'm not going to do that. But I can tell you, he wants to win. He's frustrated. He feels like he's faster. He wants to win.
Well, if he wants to win, he's got to get by that 21 clean. That 21 car is not doing anything wrong racing for the win. He's holding the line. He's picking his spot. And, you know, I don't know any race I've ever seen in my life where the leader is supposed to pull over for the second place guy.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. O'Danick's done nothing wrong. In fact, he's done everything right.
Well, we're fixing to see who's got the real speed with 15 to go here. We don't know. You know, we know these guys play cat and mouse games. We know Brian Zimmerman is Brian Zimmerman. You know, maybe he's been saving tire. Maybe O'Danick's been saving tire. We know Raymond isn't. He wants that lead bad. So we know two of the three entrants here, you know, haven't been using too much stuff up, and maybe Raymond hasn't either. Maybe I'm calling it wrong. I'm not in that car. His tires are cooled down now, and maybe his is his shot to go for a win. Before you go for this win, if you're Jason Raymond, you have to get a really good restart on the top and hold off the second place guy. If you're the second place guy, you got to clear Raymond to get to the leader. And if you're O'Danick, you get the biggest lead you can for the next 15 laps and try and hold on to it.
You try to drive out of their life now from this moment forward. You may see games get played on this restart. And I'm not saying that's in a bad way at all, right? I'm just saying, if you're the race leader, you got to do everything you can right now. Now is when you go into your bag of tricks, right? 15 laps to go, going to be 14 to go at the stripe. It's time to dip into the bag of tricks.
I just saw Raymond violently pull up in front of beside him to let him know he was there. And if I'm in the car, if I'm the leader, he's showing me a little of emotion there. I'm kind of liking it. I'm not going to lie.
Feeding off of it.
That's what I want to see.
Absolutely. But you just got to tiptoe that line, right? You got to hope. You don't want to be involved in the caution, right? Because then ultimately that runs both your nights. Look, told you. Look how early O'Danick fired off. He knows. O'Danick's very, very smart. Raymond actually kissed the wall right then. But Raymond was not prepared for that.
Let's see what happens here. Let's see how those tires hold up for Raymond. We know he's got the speed to get the lead here, right?
To the inside of Brian Zimmerman. Battle for P3 is on board, and Raymond's there. Two-hour
They
race
are
leader.
tight.
They are really tight, leaning on each other, not giving a whole lot of room. I worry about netcode there. Zimmerman does the right thing. He kind of just gives up the battle, goes down low, lives
Raymond's to the back bumper.
Raymond's right there on the rear end.
There he goes. Oh, dive bomb. Is he going to make it?
Oh,
Oh,
contact right there.
I'm O'Danick. That's coming back.
Oh boy, you may have fireworks right here. Oh, Danick didn't do it.
I would have.
I expected full blown. Oh, I would have too. Full blown fireworks right there.
That's a great move, though. I mean, he just tagged him, made it stick, and
now he's gonna get
nobody
gone.
got wrecked.
He's gonna be gone now. I don't think O'Danick can get back to him.
Yeah, the raw speed in the 49 has been impressive. That right rear is screaming, but we'll see here if this goes long. Let's see if that holds up for Raymond here.
Hell of a night.
Looks like O'Danick's changed his line, and Mettler. I think Mettler's the fastest car on the track at the moment.
Last time by on the chart, Mettler was fastest out of the top 5.
I think if Mettler had the lead here, it would be a different story. He has been really impressive coming up through there.
As the young guns got 9 laps to go at the stripe. Let's see if we can pull up some stats here. Carol, we're going to let you call the action while I try to get some stats pulled up really quick.
It looks like O'Danick has changed his line behind Raymond. Whether it's going to benefit him or not, I'm not sure. But he's sending it a little deeper into the corner. But Raymond's running a lower line. Oh, Raymond, big mistake off of 4. O'Danick starting to close that gap now. And, you know, the fact that Raymond hit him in the door on the way by, it just may come back.
You've opened up. You said hit the door. He opened up the door there. So Raymond's last race win came on January 10th of this year. So been many months since the 49s parked that car in victory lane. Going for race win number 16 of his Crooked Line racing career. Got 7 laps to go. Really loose right there. Woo, walk the dog sideways. If I'm O'Danick, man, I don't know if we both finish this race just because I'm a hothead tempered guy. I get doored like that, bro. And I'm man, I don't know here, brother. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Mettler's right there for the win too. If these guys make a little contact, he's sniffing for a win here. And O'Danick is sending it into the corner now. This is a different driver in second place here. He's running more of the Jason Raymond line, and he's right there, man. You know, 5 to go. If he gets to that bumper, Raymond's loose. This could be interesting. Raymond's right rear is giving up. You can see it. He's driving a sprint car around here, and you know, is O'Danick fast enough to get to that bumper with raw speed, or would it take a long run for him to get to him here?
I know we're supposed to paint the picture to be full excitement all the time, but I think Raymond, he could back the pace down just 3% here. Just quit getting loose like that, and the 49 car is good. But we know he's young. He can't do that, right?
Oh, O'Danick with a big mistake. Here comes Mettler.
Mettler to the inside of the 21. He backs out of it, though. That's his heads-up driving right there, right? Why wreck second place or even put yourself in a position to be in a wreck? Mettler just backed out of it right there, right? That's what I wish a lot of people in this series did. Exactly what Mettler did right then. Yes, he could have. I mean, they could be side-by-side battling right now, Carol, and we know it, right? I mean, we know it. Mettler was fast enough right then to do it. But what's the point?
Yeah, Raymond's pulling away at this point. These guys are all kind of in line, and if there's no yellow flag here before the white flag, Raymond's got this in the bag. He made a great move there. Whether O'Danick's happy or not, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure he's not, but I'm really impressed with the 15. I'm really impressed. The top 5, the vets are up front, right? I mean, we talked about that at the start, and here comes Raymond for a first win in a long time in the Crooked Line Series. Welcome back, Jason Raymond.
First race win since January 10th of this year. The young gun, Jason Raymond, puts it on the podium, top of the podium, and puts it in victory lane. Shout out to the 49 car. Hell of a night out of Mr. Jason Ramon. As I know he's smiling right now. He's so ugly, but he's going to be so happy about tonight. I'm happy for the kid, right? I know he wanted to win. And took a little bit of bumps and bruises to get there, right? I don't know if a lot of people...
We got to work on your burnouts here, Raymond. Come on.
Yeah, remember, these cars are a little tough, right? They don't have very good turning radius, but come on, son. You can't hit the outside.
Use the grass. Use the grass, boy. You know how to do it.
It looks like he's going to go quickie style, just Polish victory. No, he's still trying to get that car turned.
There you go. He's got it down.
This winning moment brought to you by BAM Racing Videos, our race winner, Mr. Jason Raymond, burning it down for the first time in many months. Got the race win number 16 here tonight in Crooked Line Racing. So the kid has Hey, one hell of a career here in Career Line Racing. Took a sabbatical for a little bit, went real life racing here at Stafford, came back and put it in victory lane tonight. So congratulations, Jason Raymond, Kyle O'Danick P2, and Brandon Mettler P3. So I'm going to take Mettler and Raymond. I'm going to let you do O'Danick. Let's see if we can get Mettler up in the booth as we have him here. Mr. Brandon Mettler, you're live in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
So, Brandon, watching you there late in the race. Well, let's go to the middle portion of the race first, right? You qualified, I think, ninth. So you started behind the 8-ball, but it seemed in that middle portion of the race, something just started to click for the 15 car, and you started picking them off and just laying them down, right? So, talk to us about what you found as the race prolonged there, and how you use that to your advantage for a podium.
Yeah, I've been racing seat in a while, so I was just trying to get my bearings for the first half of the race, really. Tonight's set was very, very tricky as far as keeping the front two tires aimed right going into the turns, especially turn one. It was really hard to keep a consistent line going into turn one just because you get loose and you got to chase it up the track. So just trying to find that fine line in between where I normally run here and where it's going to work tonight. Obviously, it's a little bit higher track tonight than we're used to. But all in all, good race. Like I said, just trying to keep the bearings straight, trying to find a groove and keep that groove and be as smooth as I can because that right rear gets pretty tricky here. So,
Mettler, it looks like you had a 12-second pit stop on lap 68. So you pit with the top three or the other top three. Was that a 2-tire stop just for future reference?
Yep, 2 tires, especially at these kind of tracks, where you use the apron pretty good. And where the apron's really flat, I try to keep those left side tires on there just because they have that wear and that temperature already in them. So I don't want to start new fresh and from a new slate in that aspect. So I just went with the right sides. I knew that right rear, like I said, was going to be pretty tricky. It's down to 79%. My right front was at 92. So really just keeping throttle control into it, keeping the tires. That was the strategy there. And obviously for a little bit of fuel to make it to the end.
So me and Carol had it right. I mean, we could tell y'all was loose. It looked like everybody was battling loose all night. And I mean, a couple guys looked kind of tight loose, but just mainly loose all night. And you persevered with the 15, started 9th, finished 3rd. Who we got to thank for the number 15 here tonight, brother?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, takes a village and a crew to make it all happen. Got to thank Band Racing Videos, YouTube, and Facebook. Haven't been as active lately trying to get things figured out on that end of things, but I'm still going really well in that aspect. I got to thank Five Kings Motorsports, all the teammates that ran tonight. I know Scotty ran to his shoes on that first lap, so unfortunately he couldn't make it too long, but obviously Raymond had a great run tonight, back seeing him for the first time in a little bit, so hats off to him. Over 5 Kings Motorsports sponsors, EPI, especially for hopping on here pretty recently, the Buck Kicker, Truson Productions, Savage Edge, and USA Firearms, and obviously for you two for giving us a name and image out there for Crooked Line Racing, so we can go back and watch and learn from our mistakes and see where we can get better.
Right on, buddy. Well, Mettler, hell of a night, brother. Glad to see you back. I saw you jump in. I got excited because then I knew I didn't have to do pictures and the race recap wasn't on my shoulders because I forgot the last 2 nights. So, hell yeah, glad to have you back, brother. And hell yeah, buddy. Congratulations on the P3 finish.
Yeah, I've had to work 120 hours the past 2 weeks, so I couldn't be on here too much. But, hey, we're back now. We're trying to get back into it a little bit.
Hey, back at it like a crack addict. I don't know if we can say it or not on there, but we did.
Sounds good to me.
All seriousness, I wish you didn't have a Purdue hat on in your SDK picture. That's neither here nor there, you know what I'm saying? But congratulations on the P3 finish, brother.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely, boss. All righty, Carol. I'm going to let you have the floor with the driver who came in P2. Got roughed up a little bit. I mean, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Raymond's my buddy. Kyle's my buddy. I think 21 car got roughed up a little bit. Was it fair? I don't know. Not for me to call, not for you to call, not for us to call, right? It's for them. But the floor is yours, Mr. Carroll. You have Kyle O'Danick up in the booth.
O'Danick, you got a copy with Tanner and Carol up in the TSP booth here, bud?
Yep, I got you guys.
Bit of a heartbreaker out there tonight there with the 49. Stuffed it in there pretty deep. Gotta ask your thoughts on what happened there and what were you thinking at the end of the race?
I can't really complain too much. I mean, I kind of did a similar move last week, but it is what it is. That's how they do it there at Stafford, and he races there. So I know it, and he caught me sleeping. I was trying to cover it, and I just entered too high. I was actually getting tight on entry for some reason, and yeah, he stuck it in there. I tried to run him tight, and he was able to still pull it off on the apron. So I was challenging him, but he was able to pull it off.
So 2-part question here. With you getting tight, how How tough was that? Was that a big save? Was that a big moment when you guys touched? The second question is, if you'd have got back to that man, would that bumper have been used?
It wasn't a big moment. I just, I didn't even feel it. Just kind of saw that it was a 4X. But if I got back to him, I don't think I would have really done much of anything. It's just not worth it with the way the points work and the incidents. It's only a point to win. So to risk it and getting like 10th place in points just isn't that'd be worse. So just trying to preserve, I think probably
Very
4th or
smart.
5th in points.
Very smart.
That is a veteran move. We talked tonight about the veterans being up front.
I was killing him. I'm killing him in that instant, bro. Next corner, I'm killing him. Sorry, Carol. Go ahead.
So I mean that's a smart way to think. I don't know if I'd have been that smart. I definitely would have taken the bumper to him. And I like Raymond. I got nothing against him, but for me, if the guys don't door me, I'm gonna get him back. The rest of the race was pretty smooth for you. I mean, I'd ask you about it, but I know what that's like out front. It's just kind of running your own race and seeing how close your competitors were. And I thought that race was decided on pit road. So I mean, besides that, you had a pretty clear race and a pretty clean race, and walk me through what you were thinking when you were leading, O'Dana, because that was a long time out there in front.
Yeah, I'm a guy. I don't like leading. It's I like taking the lead with like 5 laps to go and then just trying to drive like hell. But yeah, I saw Jason he was running hard, and so I was just trying to keep it straight, keep the tires under it. And as we got to the end of that long run, it was starting to come to me, and I could see he was starting to struggle. And then when it came time to turn it up at the end, he was able to do it a lot better than I was because he'd been doing it for a lot longer. So it took me a little longer to find that limit, and he was already at it, and that was the difference.
I hear you. I think those tires got cooled down under the caution there. I think a long run there. I think you may get back to him. But congrats on second place tonight, and I'll let the floor be yours here, and you can thank whoever you need to thank on that car tonight.
Yeah, just got to thank the guys down in race room 3. Our little unofficial team down there. Brad, Zach, Caleb, Scott, Steve. They make it a lot fun, and we had a good time down there. And yeah, we work together, and thanks to those guys. I think a lot of them had a good run tonight too.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats on second. We'll get you back down there. Good job tonight, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, folks. That was our second place runner. Now let's pull up our race winner. And I know he's going to be excited, but I'm going to ask him, Mr. Raymond, you're live in the booth. First, do you have a copy?
I got you.
All right. Second, we're going Fox style. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know when you get in here, and I want you to walk us through this move, race-winning move that you pulled off here for the race win. So we'll go back a lap before just to give full context here, and then we'll just let you talk about it.
All right. Yeah, so I'm in here. Obviously here, it was just right after the restart. Reeled him in pretty good right here on the and going on the entry of the corner. I heard he was getting a little tight, but definitely had some pretty good runs on corner exit. I just reeled him in again once here. Got a huge runoff too. I don't know really where it came from, but I was right on him. And then obviously growing up here, I know what they do, so I kind of just, they call it the bottom shot, slung myself down there. And obviously I didn't mean to come up and hit him as hard as I did. Definitely wanted to nudge him up a little bit. I got squeezed a couple times, so I was just trying to, take the run and go with it. And I mean that's what happened. Definitely, I apologize to him. I didn't mean to hit him that hard. That's not what I want to be doing. But at the same time, personally, feel like I had the faster car and I got squeezed down a couple times when it would have been a little bit different. But yeah.
Tanner, I want to jump in here for one question before you interview him. He always jumps into my interviews, Raymond. How in the hell? I was saying the whole race that right rear is screaming, Jason Raymond, stop it. How did you keep that underneath you?
Honestly, this is just my best track on the sim. I feel like I'm able to control the car a little bit better. I don't know if that's, racing there in real life helps with that, but just knowing the line, I feel like plays a role on that. Trying to keep the car underneath you, and I feel like I did a good job of that. I definitely was a little angry at points, but I feel like the cautions kind of helped me cool it down a little bit, and it would just fire off super fast every restart. So
10-4. All yours, Tanner. I had to ask that. Sorry.
Well, Raymond, brother, hell of a way to come back here in the tour mods. You ended up getting the race win tonight. You definitely, I think it's safe to say you had the fastest car of the night, right? And when you were in P2, P3, I can't lie, I was a little worried, right? I could tell you were pushing really hard, trying to get that 49 car back out in clean air. Talk me through some of those restarts when you were restarting second and third. How tough was it to keep that horse kind of back in the stable without going just all out?
Definitely really tough. There's one restart he fired off pretty much center of the corner, and I was fighting the car all the way until I got pointed straight. So just kind of actually took one hand off the wheel and was just wheeling it with one hand back and forth. But yeah, the restarts, I mean, you can't push it too hard. I mean, you'll spin the tires, and you just gotta try to keep the car underneath you. Be smart with it. Obviously, I took the runs that I was getting on the outside there, because I mean, you do get a run on the outside. You just can't hold it for too long, and was able to clear Zimmerman when I was up on the outside, and then just kind of run my line and get back behind Odanik and just try. I tried everything, and then obviously you saw the move, but I tried everything I could to get around him clean. And like I said,
he didn't give you a whole lot of room in there, right? You had all four tires on the apron. It wasn't a dive bomb. I'm not going to judge that, right? I wasn't out there, right? Would you survive turn one, the next corner? We probably both reckon, right? But that's me. I'm different. But the biggest question I got, if you're watching my screen, what the hell is this?
Dude, I spiked
Can we do a burnout, brother? Holy
hang on. Just fast forward a little bit. You'll see the burnout.
I did. We saw that part, but we also
So I was revving it up, went to dump the clutch, and had the wheel cranked right, and it just didn't spin the tires. I kind of just turned right and nosedived into the fence.
I was trying to give you some advice and be like, use the grass, son. Use the grass.
I mean, I got it eventually. I guess.
It's been a while.
I mean, I haven't been able to do them in real life either, so I guess I gotta a little bit work on that. But
it's been a while, so I've got to make fun of you on air, right? So I had to throw a dig in there. You eventually did get it with the winning moment brought to you by BAM. So you did give me a chance for my ad read, so I appreciate that. But hell of a night, brother. Who we got to thank for the 49 cars? We went really long here.
You're good. I got to thank a lot of people. First and foremost.
Go ahead.
First and foremost, I got to thank my girlfriend. She was watching tonight for her support, both in real life and on the sim. Doesn't matter where it is. If I'm racing, she's watching. I got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast every week. I mean, obviously, True Sim Productions. If anybody's watching and hasn't subscribed, everybody will greatly appreciate that. It brings you every aspect of racing, dirt, and everything. Definitely subscribe. Got to thank all the guys over at 5 Kings Motorsports for sure. I got a lot of sponsors over there with those guys. We got Elite Performance Industries, EPI. Just recently came on board, so thank them. Longtime sponsor, thebuttkicker.com. Obviously, True Sim Productions. We got Savage Edge Apparel, BAM Racing Videos, and USA Firearms. And then just going to shout out all my real life sponsors. Just the two main ones, Tile Chief Floor and Wall Coverings, and the Barn Package Store.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Can you go again one more time? Read them all back to me one more time, Raymond.
Nah, you already said we went long. We're just going to leave it there.
All right, brother. Hell yeah, congratulations on the race win here tonight. We went so damn long, the admin meeting after the race, Carol, we missed it. So good job. High five through the air for that. We didn't have to pick who was in trouble, who wasn't in trouble. And Jason Raymond parked it in victory lane tonight. Well, let's pull up our results tab, and we're going to get the hell up on out of here because it has been a long night, folks. Thank y'all for sticking with us through it all as the young gun came back, put it on the pole. I would say he never looked back, but damn it, he did, because he got in traffic and had to work his way through not only lap traffic, but race traffic. Got second, third, battled back, put it in victory lane. I hate him, but he is quick here. Race winner, Jason Raymond. Kyle O'Danick, P2. Brandon Mettler, P3. Brian Zimmerman, he held down P3 for the longest portion of tonight's event. Fell one spot short of the podium. Fourth, Zach Murphy, fifth. Brad Carpenter, sixth. Caleb Thompson, seventh. 8th is Steven Rogers, 9th Troy Tarbuck, and 10th is Adam Thompson, around the top 10. And also, please note, my pick won the race. So, in your notepad, Carol, please go ahead and give me a 1 point. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, go do your burnout like Jason Raymond does over there, Tanner. We'll call it even.
Hey, I did a burnout Saturday for some money, and it was broadcasted on True Sim Production. You know what? Hey, I did the same thing, except I hit the wall as I was burning it down. I got a little chaotic. I don't get to do them that often. Folks,
I had to try and burn you both while it was there.
Yeah, you can't burn. I'm unburnable, bro. When you're this hot, you walk around this sexy, you can't be burned. You know what I'm saying? Claire,
not as hot as Raymond's right rear.
That's probably for sure. Claire, if you're still watching, I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Call me. And Raymond, if you're still in here, Are you still in here? He's probably
Yeah.
already on the phone. He's
I'm
already
here.
on the phone.
I am on the phone, actually.
He's
Yes.
already on the phone. Holy cow. You can't make it up, folks. Thank y'all for tuning in as always. Thank you, Savage Edge Apparel. Thank you, Tripods in the Wall, Bad Company Racing, all the Crooked Line Racing admins, everybody that helps the village keep going and growing. And folks, big news coming out of the Crooked Line Racing camp. We could be turning in, or wait, we could be bringing another series into Crooked Line Racing to where we're not just going to be short track and dirt track racing, but that's an announcement for another day. Just all I can say is stay tuned. And until that, Carol, final thoughts, and then close up the shop.
I mean, we saw the return of a fast dude doing his fast things out there, and
Oh God.
you know, there's a long run there. He held his speed. He was fast, and
Oh God.
you know, we got to see some good, clean racing on that long run there, and I was impressed with a few guys out there. I was impressed with Mettler, and you know, overall, I think it was a good race. I think, you know, once they settled down and got to racing, we saw a really good race there.
I 100% agree with the 100 emoji. And folks, that is going to do it for tonight. I want to thank y'all for sticking with us and sticking to it as we get through it. We'll be back live tomorrow night. I will not be here. Stephen T. Johnson, Kyle Wellman, they'll be coming live on TSP for the first time. So be on the lookout for that. And until next time, folks, we'll see ya.